Welcome to another episode of Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. I am your host, Lionel McDonald. So, hey, snowy day in Toronto. Can't believe it's early in November and we already have snow. But back behind the mic, um, talking again, music. So many things are happening. So, after we kind of hit this mark on Halloween, believe is that was when the release date, we got um, a new Big L album. And I think we have to, once again, tip our hats to the work that we are getting from Nas in upholding the culture. But this now being the fifth album. So this is part one. We're going to do part two once the remaining two projects are released for this unbelievably culture changing run that Nas is on right now with his record label Mass Appeal. Now I couldn't find my Mass Appeal hat. I have a Mobb Deep hat on. We're gonna get to why, but Nas announced earlier this year, and well, actually, let's take it one step back. It was last year. Nas and DJ Premier got behind the boards and created the "Find My Name." It's a song based on everything that we had been hoping for literally almost 15 to 20 years now, that Nas and Premier, after countless songs, um, New York State of Mind, Nas is like Second Childhood, that they would finally come together and do an album. It was announced that Nas and DJ Premier were going to do a song, and they did a song, and then you hear throughout the track that an album is actually coming. So neither did we believe that we would get what Mass Appeal delivered to us. And they promised and they delivered every step in the way. So we've had other artists say they're going to roll out money, other artists. Yay, I'm looking at you, but that happened and then the release didn't go as well. Although there's some great products in there, the release, the timing of it didn't happen the way that everyone wanted it to happen. But Nas kind of promised that he's going to bring 7 iconic acts together and put out some amazing music. So what was promised to us, we started with the first album. We got, if we all could believe that we're getting a Slick Rick album. We got a Slick Rick album earlier in the summer. Pretty good, some good joints, definitely cross some banners or genres. When I talk about, call it British rap and New York rap, and he kind of has ties to both, so it was kind of cool that he did some of these things. Nas and I'll share the common thread is Nas is on all of these projects and drops an incredible verse on every single project. Next up, we got Raekwon's project now. American is the standout cut. He's also got a joint with, that's the one with Nas. Also standout cut. He got the whole Griselda crew back together. Sounds like vintage Raekwon. There's some amazing things, that were on the album. Production is solid. People didn't love it as much as I did. I thought it was absolutely amazing. But that's the second project. The third project then we got is Ghostface. And Ghostface, bold take that we would actually decide to call this album Supreme Clientele 2. And Supreme Clientele is arguably Ghostface's best album in the highest regard of all albums, but it delivered, in my eyes anyways. Some people didn't think it was good. Human Man Right, the one he does with Method Man at the end of the album, is one of my favorite tracks. He goes from a whole bunch of different things. He started off Rap Kingpin, was the first single. That was an amazing track, really old school. Gives back to the essence of New York rap and strictly from Long Island. The next project is my favorite project that we got. And we'll rank them really quick in a second. We got the Mobb Deep project. Um, so partnership between Mobb Deep. So obviously Prodigy, rest in peace. Got my Prodigy shirt on right now. Prodigy passed away. November 2nd was his birthday, but we got the Infinite. So Alchemist and Prodigy, or sorry, Alchemist and Havoc came together, powered by all of the old verses that we've had. Many of them were in Alchemist's deck that never came and saw the light of day. So we got Against the World, we got Taj Mahal as some of the singles, but Look at Me with Clips, so a Clips track. We got Big Noid making an appearance. Raekwon and Ghostface connect like they did on the Infamous. Obviously, Nas had to make an appearance, and Down for You is the song that we keep talking about. With Mobb Deep, and the vocals that we got from Miss Smith on top of both having a Havoc Mobb Deep or Havoc Prodigy and Nas verse. My Era, Score Points are other amazing tracks. Pour Out the Henny is another one that we had Nas on. So there's 3 tracks that Nas got on specifically for this album. And then we also now have a collaboration concert series that's happening at the end of the year in December, hitting Toronto, where we both have 2 of these legends coming together. So we have Mobb Deep, and I'm sure, like the last time Mobb Deep was here, we'll have Big Noid and others helping to support Havoc. But we'll also have Raekwon as part of this concert. So we're taking it back to Eye for an Eye, back at you, or right back at you vibes. So it's going to be amazing. But then we got on December 3rd or October 31st, we got Harlem's Finest, Return of the King, Big L. Now, some people have trashed this album. People have already said that it's not good, but it's really hard when there's not a lot of material that's available. There's not a lot of verses that you heard, but it ends up being a compilation. You Ain't Got a Chance is the Nas track that's there, but we get that 7-minute freestyle between him and Jay-Z. Big L Forever, or Forever by Big L with Mac Miller and Pale J. Showbiz it makes an appearance on it. We got McGruff, which was part of his crew. We got Party Artie and Fergie Baby also making on a guest appearance. So that's the Big L album, and it's amazing to believe that Big L lived away in Harlem, that he hasn't been with us for decades. The Big Picture released, I think I want to tell you, in 99, and he wasn't alive, but it was most of the time that Big L took over. So that's the projects that we got. But hey, if we run it back, I would tell you in my specific order, I would say number 5 that has been released is Slick Rick, followed by Big L, followed by Raekwon, followed by the number 2 spot would be Ghostface, and then Mobb Deep is definitely number 1 in my eyes. So we have 2 projects left to make out the 7. And Cabin in the Sky, after De La Soul and all of their fights with Tommy Boy and everybody else to get their catalog, Cabin in the Sky is going to be an album that is going to release. I want to tell you, it's middle of November. I think it's actually this coming Friday that we're seeing. The first single that's come out, The Package. We got Pete Rock on the beat. It's pretty dope. For all those De La fans, you got your hands on a gem there. So amazing that we got our hands on this particular one. So it's going to be really exciting. Who's on it? Do we get Tribe Called Quest? Do we get some form of the native tongues getting together? But good to have De La Soul back together making music. We know that we've lost Dave, but we still have 2 other plugs that are going to make it happen. So amazing, and thoughts that we have about a new De La Soul record. And then we have the granddaddy of them all, which we'll get in December. It's already been confirmed. Nas and Primo, laced everything. It's all together. It's going to make it happen. You're going to see them on tour, hopefully, but Nas and Primo together is going to make the lucky number 7th album. So tell me, who is your favorite? What have you liked? What have you not liked? It's definitely difficult to make an album when the member of the group or the individual artist has passed away. Worked out a little bit better for Mobb Deep because Mobb Deep had so many different options in terms of what the estate of Prodigy had between his wife and his family, what Havoc had in his old archives. And then obviously Alchemist and Prodigy had been making some hot tracks that just never were on the cutting room floor, that never got released. So we ultimately got those projects and they got released. But amazing to see that we're finally going to see some of this music, and that will be out and about for us to make it happen in 2025, to pull an amazing year together. Top it off, Nas has now created a comic that is going to be available to the public, featuring superheroes that represent this amazing team of artists that are part of the Mass Appeal family. So De La Soul, Ray and Ghost, Mobb Deep, all a part of what this is going to be. So Nas has continued to do amazing things, and how he's continued to give back to the community. He started a fund that we can have now for old artists that were not paid correctly, and now they can have their money and do all those things. So amazing that Nas continues to give back for the culture. And we talk about culture vultures and so many other things so many times, but Nas is one of the true purists that we have in the game today, and we should all be very grateful for what he's doing for many of our legends right now. But that's all I got for you today. This was a short one, but we definitely will dive in deeper in part 2 when we get the last 2 albums, Cowboy in the Sky by De La and the unreleased Nas and DJ Premier project. We already got to find their name. We know a track that's out there, but it will be amazing to get the complete package. And really, does this live up to the expectations? So thanks for everything. Thanks for being a part of the Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life family. Thank you all to the new listeners. That is the end of this episode. We out for now.